married women. They're supposed to be untouchable, right? Happy, confident, protected by that ring on their finger. But here's the shocking truth. That ring, it doesn't make them safe. In fact, it often makes them the easiest prey. Why? And what does Stoicism, a 2,000-year-old philosophy, have to say about this? Stick around, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see relationships, power, and human nature forever. Before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about shaming anyone. It's not about pointing fingers or stirring up drama. This is about understanding human behavior, the vulnerabilities we all share, and how Stoicism can help us navigate these murky waters. Today, we're tackling a topic that's rarely talked about but affects so many: why married women are often seen as easy targets. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see this issue in a whole new light. So let's get started. Here's the problem. Society often paints married women as off-limit, as if the ring on their finger is some kind of shield, but the reality, it's quite the opposite. For some, that ring is like a flashing neon sign that says, "I'm vulnerable." Why? Because marriage, while beautiful, comes with its own set of challenges. It's not just about love and commitment, it's about navigating expectations, societal pressures, and sometimes loneliness. And predators, they know this, they see it, they exploit it. But here's where Stoicism comes in. This ancient philosophy teaches us how to recognize these vulnerabilities, not just in others, but in ourselves, and how to protect against them. So let's break this down step by step.
1. The illusion of security. Let's start with the illusion of security. Why do people assume marriage equals safety? Think about it. When someone gets married, society often sees them as settled. They found their person, they're happily ever after. But here's the thing, marriage doesn't magically erase all your problems. In fact, it can create new ones. Take Sarah, for example. Sarah was married for 5 years. From the outside, her life looked perfect. She had a loving husband, a beautiful home, and a successful career. But inside, she felt lonely. Her husband was always busy with work, and they barely had time to connect. She started questioning herself, am I not enough? Is this all there is? And that's when *** showed up. Let's call him Mark. Mark was a coworker who noticed Sarah's quiet sadness. He started paying her extra attention, complimenting her, making her laugh, and slowly making her feel seen. Sarah didn't realize it at the time, but Mark wasn't just being kind, he was exploiting her vulnerability. This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics teach us that external validation, whether it's from a ring on your finger or attention from someone else, is a trap. True security doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. When we rely on others to make us feel whole, we give away our power, and that's exactly what predators like Mark are counting on. 2. The loneliness paradox. Now let's talk about the loneliness paradox. How can someone be married and still feel lonely? It's more common than you think. Marriage isn't just about love, it's about communication, connection, and shared experiences, but when those things break down, loneliness creeps in. Imagine this. You're sitting across from your partner at dinner, but it feels like you're worlds apart. You try to talk, but the conversation feels forced. You start to wonder, do they even see me anymore? That's the loneliness paradox. You're not alone, but you feel alone. And predators, they thrive on this. They see the cracks in the relationship and they know exactly how to slip through. They offer the attention, the validation, the connection that's missing, but here's the thing, that connection isn't real. It's a manipulation tactic. Stoicism teaches us that true security comes from within. It's about being comfortable with yourself even when you're alone. When you stop relying on others to fill that void, you take away the predator's power. Because here's the truth, no one can make you feel whole unless you already are. 3. The predator's playbook. Let's get into the predator's playbook. How do they identify and target vulnerabilities? It's not as complicated as you might think. Predators are experts at reading people. They notice the small things, the way you avoid eye contact, the way you light up when someone pays you a compliment. They use these cues to build trust, to make you feel special. Take Lisa, for example. Lisa was married for 10 years. Her husband was a good man, but he wasn't very expressive. He rarely complimented her or showed affection. So when a new neighbor started showering her with attention, it felt like a breath of fresh air. He'd bring her flowers, tell her how beautiful she looked, and listen to her like no one else did. But here's the catch. It was all a game. The neighbor wasn't interested in Lisa, he was interested in the thrill of the chase, and once he got what he wanted, he disappeared. This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics teach us to be aware of our emotions, to recognize when someone is trying to manipulate us. When you're aware of your vulnerabilities, you can protect yourself. Because here's the truth, no one can take advantage of you unless you let them. 4. The Stoic solution. So what's the Stoic solution? How can we protect ourselves from predators? It starts with self-awareness. The Stoics believed that the key to a good life is understanding yourself. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your emotions. When you know yourself, you can't be easily manipulated. Here's a practical step. Start by setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out, they're about protecting your energy. If someone crosses a line, don't be afraid to speak up. Remember, you can't control others, but you can control how you respond. Another Stoic principle is to focus on what you can control. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you react. When you stop seeking validation from others, you take away their power. Because here's the truth, you are enough, just as you are.
5. The bigger picture. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This issue isn't just about married women, it's about all of us. We live in a society that values external validation, likes, followers, compliments, but the Stoics teach us that true happiness comes from within. Think about it. How many times have you sought validation from others only to feel empty afterward? That's because external validation is fleeting. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it'll never be enough. The solution? Focus on building your inner strength. When you're secure in yourself, you're less likely to fall for manipulation, and that's not just good for you, it's good for everyone around you, because here's the truth, we're all connected. What affects one of us affects us all.
6. Real-life stories. Let's end with a real-life story. Meet Emily. Emily was married for 7 years when she met someone who made her feel alive again. He was charming, attentive, and everything her husband wasn't. But deep down, Emily knew something was off. Instead of giving in to her emotions, she turned to Stoicism. She started journaling, reflecting on her feelings, and asking herself tough questions. Why am I seeking validation from this person? What's missing in my life? Through this process, Emily realized that the problem wasn't her marriage, it was her own insecurities. She started working on herself, setting boundaries, practicing self-care, and focusing on what she could control. And over time, she found the strength to walk away from the predator and rebuild her relationship with her husband. Emily's story is a reminder that we all have the power to change our lives. It's not about blaming others, it's about taking responsibility for ourselves, and that's the true power of Stoicism.
Here's the truth. Married women aren't easy prey because of who they are. They're targeted because of the vulnerabilities that come with being human. But here's the good news. Stoicism gives us the tools to protect ourselves, not just from predators, but from our own fears and insecurities. It's not about building walls, it's about building strength from within. So, what have we learned? Marriage doesn't make someone weak, it's the expectations and pressures that come with it that can create vulnerabilities. But with Stoicism, we can see these challenges for what they are, opportunities to grow, to strengthen, and to protect ourselves. Remember, the ring on your finger isn't a shield, it's a reminder of the love and commitment you've chosen, and with the right mindset, nothing can take that away from you. If this video resonated with you, hit that subscribe button, because the truth, it's just the beginning.